Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Well, last week I decided to make a little excursion down to Lincoln Park Zoo on Chicago's lakefront. And it was just kind of a nice day, and I really didn't want to take a lot of equipment. So I just took this little ZS200, Lumix ZS200 point and shoot, super zoom, point and shoot, super zoom, compact, whatever you want to call it. I was curious to see if it would be adequate for taking some casual photographs at the zoo. And it's really nice to have a camera like this. I mean, even if you're a professional, you have all of this equipment, which I do, which I use regularly, but there's times when you want to go out and just not take a lot. So went down there with the ZS200. And Lincoln Park Zoo is, we have two zoos here in Chicago. We have Brookfield Zoo, which is actually only about 10 minutes away from where we are now, and Lincoln Park Zoo, which is in Lincoln Park on the lakefront of Chicago. Of course, Lincoln Park is the older zoo, and it was, I forget what day it was, what the date was when it was established. Interestingly, the way Lincoln Park Zoo got established was Central Park Zoo in New York gifted a pair of swans to Chicago, and that turned out to be the start of Lincoln Park Zoo. And Lincoln Park Zoo today is a quite modern zoo with modern enclosures, very naturalistic. When I was a kid, it was old school. It was cages. It was kind of a dismal place, but they put a lot of effort into bringing it up to date. Brookfield Zoo, on the other hand, which was established in, I think, the mid-1930s, from the get-go was a modern type of zoo. It was the first zoo in the United States that did not use cages and used moats and things like that. So I parked in the zoo parking lot. We are Lincoln Park Zoological Society members, which means we get free parking at the level that we contribute. So that's cool. The other interesting thing about, of course, Lincoln Park Zoo is being in Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park is a very large urban park, and there's actually a lot of wildlife in the park outside the zoo. So I parked my car, and the first thing that I noticed, I stepped out, and there's a tree right where I parked, and there's a bunch of crows, a murder of crows, and they are upset. And I looked at the closest crow, and I scanned over to where he was looking, and over on a dumpster was a juvenile red-shouldered hawk, which looks very much like a juvenile Cooper's hawk, although they're not closely related, and the red-shouldered hawk is a little beefier than the Cooper's hawk. So there was that. And as I went through the zoo, I went to the polar bear enclosure. The bears, they were in a private area, but the crows were taking a bath in the bear's waterfall. That was interesting. How did the ZS200 perform? Pretty well. I even used it inside some of the buildings. The ZS200 has a pretty slow super zoom lens. It's f3.3 to f6.3 roughly. And luckily, because of the 1-inch sensor, you can ramp up the ISO a fair amount and still get pretty decent results. The other thing is that a lot of the buildings actually have skylights, so they're not as dark as you might think. So I put together a little slideshow with some video clips and some still images of that for folks who are interested in this camera. So here you go. So Lincoln Park Zoo with the Lumix ZS200. So hey, if you have any questions about this camera or anything else that I've covered, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have any observations, if you've used it, anything you can add to the discussion, do that as well. Hit the little like button. It's a big help to me. And ring the bell if you want to be informed of upcoming videos. I'm Todd Banner. I'll see you next time.